publish it.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, never mind.
Live from Wednesday night, it's Ham Radio Workbench, screwing around with StreamYard. And we are your hosts, and please set your expectations low because we will be able to deliver on those.
Maybe.
Okay, yes, we're up on...
George, what page are you on YouTube?
Let's see. Video details.
So video details, the link should be right below
I found it.
Payload. Okay.
I found it. Just every time I have a Flex Radio question, I ask Mike. He ignores me for 6 hours. In the meantime, I solve it myself.
The old rubber duck solution.
At hour 7, and I said, "Hey, I figured it out."
You did.
It's
finally
well
figured out I do that.
Run.
You
This is a wet
finally figured I do that on purpose.
Oh, I've known that for a long time.
So we have our first comment to show, and let's see what that looks like. I like it.
Is this the wet run?
All I had to do is click on comments on the page.
Yeah, you can push them as you wish, and then you can also not push the ones from the idiots. The people you don't want to hear from.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So for those that are wondering what's going on, we use this great tool. I use it in my Flex radio shows called StreamYard, which makes us look a lot smarter than we are. And so Vince is in the pilot seat. He's the producer and the switcher and the editor. And I'm watching us I'm watching the YouTube one, which of course is delayed by about a minute. And I was wondering why George's lips were moving and no sound was coming out.
Because thankfully you have the other YouTube stream muted.
I do. Anyway.
I'm not only surprised that this works, I'm surprised that people are watching this.
So if you didn't hear the previous content, Thanksgiving Eve, and there's nothing better on Netflix except us.
We're not even on Netflix.
I know.
Yet.
We just finished watching, what was the French bank robber movie? It was pretty good. Casey, I can't even remember the title. I just watched it a minute ago.
All right. So my friend Carrie Sundra from Alpenglow Industries also uses StreamYard, and she is able to load 2 video streams from a single computer, but to do so, she needs to open up her browser tabs in the privacy mode or the isolate from different things mode, and then she ends up sending 2 invite links to a given individual, and they click one link into one browser and the other link into the other browser, and then each browser can upload individual cameras.
Oh, I can actually do that with the same link.
Okay.
On another personality. So just
incognito. Thank you, Marty. Yes, incognito is in fact the term I'm looking for here.
So I'm going to paste and go to... where was it? You put that in Slack. Let me get it back. Golf Charlie. I'm going to just try it in a different Slack
Nausea. Heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach,
personality.
diarrhea.
Hey, John.
So the logo has moved out of the way. The logo's way up top. It's above Mike's video, and you can barely make it out because it's black on black. Do you have that logo, George, in white?
Like my heart.
Or do we have a background that we want to use? And we probably just want to use a white background. So why don't I create one of those?
Yeah. Why don't you create one, Vince?
I'll create one, George. Brand color.
I've got something to show off.
Grand idea.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, that's not what I expected at all.
It's the worst.
I'm going to have to mute.
Change the bubble. What color do we want the bubbles? Black or white?
Purple.
The name bubbles?
Yep. The name bubbles that I just changed.
Oh.
Do we want them black or white, given those are our colors?
Well, this would be technically correct with the logo, which is black on white. We're so creative.
Yep. Black on white.
Black on white. Okay. Oops.
Although this looks better.
F, which is not a swear word.
Are you hex editing the color palette?
It is. That is how you do it. It is hex edited. Somebody wants it in streaming puce. I don't think we can do that. So That's what a logo looks like, and that's where the logo belongs. So
Hey,
now,
Brian.
Mike cloned. Let's add Mike clone to the stream and see what that looks like. How did Mike do that?
By turning off his own audio. That's how.
No, I did that on purpose. Now I hear myself.
Yeah.
This is like working on a Flex with monitor on remotely.
I know that pain.
And a 0.3 second delay.
By the way,
Hang
for
on
what
a
it's
second.
worth,
I'm going to lift the
audio.
headphones so I can say this.
I give
I went to Chrome in a different personality, so took the guest link, started it up again. If I had a second camera, I could have assigned it to the second camera, but then you'd have both, so you could be doing whatever.
By the way, we don't need the powered by StreamYard duck.
No, I'm working on that
Oh, I see.
because you
banner.
can see the workbench
Yeah.
there. So if I drag Mark up here, he's got a lighter background. Or if I put my second,
Oh, I see what you mean.
oh, we lost Mike.
No, it just killed me, so I just
I hope it
killed
doesn't
my
hurt.
other
StreamYard,
session.
you have to keep the StreamYard logo if you're using the free version, but
That's right.
We bought the real deal here, so we don't
got
need
the
that.
No, that's fine. Does the StreamYard logo persist? No, it doesn't if I turn it off. But Marty, what you can't see is we've got the Ham Radio Workbench logo in its place, but it's black on black. That's the problem.
Yeah, we could have
stylish.
cloned me side by side and then invert myself.
So why wouldn't we?
It'd be
do
like
that?
Phoebe
Now,
on Friends.
why did it pick me?
That's
Yeah,
so.
I
This
did
is
watch
where I
that.
haven't
Oops.
figured out, and you can't change the order on the broadcaster. And you've gone to solo.
Sure, you can.
Can you? Can you
How
drag
did I
them
do
around?
that? Drag and drop.
Oh, you know what?
Okay,
It's by
I like
audio
this.
focus. Is it by
It's not-
audio focus?
Negatory, good buddy. Hang on, let me bring George in, and George won't say anything, and Mike
Yes.
will keep talking.
3, 2, 1 CQ contest.
So I have pulled him
Hey.
in.
Today was a CW contest, if anybody noticed, on 20.
Yeah, I know.
there's
I was
a block full of CW.
I was testing CW, and people were answering me when I wanted an RBN report.
I was shocked. I thought, man, for a Saturday, it's pretty active. Hey, this is Wednesday.
Hey, Vince, do you see a second me in the backstage?
I do add to stream, Mark Workbench,
Yeah.
Okay.
and this would be the time that my mouse decided to hang. I love Mac OS. That's why I have a Microsoft Rodent on standby.
Okay. So
Okay.
now you're seeing the dirty part of my desk, but
Well, I
Wow.
can't help that.
yeah,
George
no,
has
you
a
can't.
tattoo.
Video you're sending. The Ham Radio Workbench should be white. Yes, it is. Yes, it should be. John McGrath. I agree completely.
Okay.
How many
see
people do we have watching?
Shockingly, more than zero.
Four, including me.
Hey, I have something to actually show you guys.
You have something?
Yeah, I got a piece of content here.
Oh, I got
This is-
something too. Should I go get my satellite dish?
Yeah,
Can we
go
carry
get it.
on?
Yes.
at it. Although you want to see this, Mike, don't go quite
No,
yet.
no.
That
I'll wait.
bracket,
Well,
that bracket is purdy. Uh-oh.
What are we building?
All right.
That's
Me?
Mark's
Oh,
workbench.
yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, that's a great
So-
shot.
I
wanna see
I'm getting
Mark.
dizzy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your gravel and strap in for the live stream.
So people, how many people do we have on the live stream right now?
4 plus me.
4
And me,
plus
I'm
you.
one of them.
So
I
5.
think I'm one of
I'm
them as well.
probably one
So
of them, too.
very few is what I'm hearing.
Very
Very
simple.
few.
Okay, then I'm willing to do this.
Do you want me to put like a
We're all
banner
about this.
across the top that says you're under NDA?
Jeez,
Yeah.
Mark,
Can you bring-
are you mooning? Come on, stop that.
At least he looks like a normal bench where I have to make a square foot to work on something.
So I can't actually.
Thank you.
My monitor above my workbench is not working right now, so I kind of have to
You're
go back and
perfect.
forth. I can't actually see what I'm
You're perfect.
displaying right now,
It looks
but
great.
this is my secret squirrel.
Dang. Look at that.
So
Looks like
I've
a
got
Morse
dump-
tutor with 2 knobs and a big
No,
screen.
it's an
That's the
oscillation
same-
over thruster.
That's the same screen
Yes.
that I've got on my Morse tutors.
the
I need to
ILI
build
80.
Yeah,
the
1281 or
9341.
something. 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
So this is the 2.4 inch. I've got a 2.8 inch on order, but I'm not using any of the touch display. I don't have one with the touch display on it.
Uh-oh, Jeff
But-
is here.
George, I got your Buckaroo Bonsai reference.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody's educated around this crowd.
Somebody's
This is-
paying attention.
Jeff wants to know if this is a secret squirrel.
This is the secret squirrel. So
Now everybody's under NDA.
that's right. We got some function buttons down here, a push to talk, an encoder wheel, plus enter on the encoder wheel, and a back. So these two together work menus, function buttons down here, a PTT, and a volume. GPS up here, display, and then a couple of WS2812s for indication of current status of radios and stuff. It is currently the prototype is a stack of 3 boards. The top one is just the UI board. The middle is where the microcontroller and all the audio processing happens, and the bottom one is the radio, the RF deck.
So it's it's a margarita machine.
Yes,
With a firewall in the middle. 'Cause it's
Exactly.
different.
exactly correct, for when the blenders start going haywire. But you'll note that it has 2 SMA connectors, one for VHF and one for UHF, and a bunch of inter-board connectivity. So there's a big row of pins here with a bunch of digital signals on it, and then the volume comes in through this little high-rise connector here, and then the function buttons come in the middle, like right underneath this display here, just because that was the way it was easy to wire up. I'm not going to say what it is. There are some
So-
people on this stream who already know what it is,
Rod
but
got
I'm
it.
not ready
Rod
to
got
talk
it.
about that yet.
Rod got it right. It
So-
plugs into his blender.
Yes,
I
that
gotta
is true.
like the feet.
I like the feet. Yes.
I like the
So
feet.
these are, I got a bag of 100 of these from Amazon for like $10 or less. The holes are 3 millimeters in size, and so an M3 fits right through them, and you just screw them into the your standard standoffs.
Nice.
Right.
So it's like going
Or
to buy
440
feet from
for some of us in America who
Yeah.
refuse
Go-
to accept the one true measurement system.
Go
Is that
M3.
Metric nerd.
So buying those feet's like going to Costco to get them. You had to buy 100 because you needed
Yes.
4.
I'd like a pellet, please.
Yeah, but it's only like 25 things because you're going to put 4 feet per thing, though. So I haven't actually put any feet on my distribution block yet, but you can because
I
it's got
had
the
one of those.
M3s because they're M3s because I replaced the ones that George distributed.
You know,
drill
if I
screws?
had one of those, I could have used it yesterday, but I had to go buy one.
Oh, by the way, I sent those kits to you, Rod. So
Oh, yeah.
being the
Oh, yeah.
Canadian Postal
Oh,
Distribution
mine's
Annex
it's about
for us.
100 miles away driving time.
Oh, please. It's not
He
like
lives
you're
in
not gonna be-
Oakville. You know how hard it is to get into Oakville from here?
Come to breakfast every once in a while.
You have to host
Okay,
it.
so who's not running headphones, by the way? Is it just
Uh,
Rod?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just me, but if I mute, hold on.
Yeah, try
Let's
that.
see. Let's try muting and let's see if that echo goes away.
Wow,
Audio
is
1, 2, 3,
Still there.
still there.
Is my video really that
What about
choppy
your
right now?
second? Does your second camera have a mic on it, Ritz?
It does, but it is muted.
Hmm.
So
It's-
here, let me take it out of the feed, remove, and we'll see what happens there. And wow,
Testing 1, 2, 3.
it seems to have cleared it up. That's weird,
Yep, I think that was it.
but it's muted. So why would it do that?
Turning mine back
So I've
on.
added it back in, and no, there's no problem there.
Oh, that's odd.
God bless the PR40 and its rear rejection.
God bless it. All
All right.
right.
Yeah, I don't hear any echo now.
Okay, I'm turning up me back on. Is it there?
Turning
see.
you back on.
Is it there now? Yes, it is. I hear it now.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay, so branding. Do you have the logo Workbench in white, George?
No, I could make it. I'll have to do it for Friday.
So I'll fire up Photoshop and do that.
I can send you a boatload of logos in black on white if you want to just invert them.
That'd be perfect.
I will do that momentarily.
All right, so we have a rudimentary understanding of how to drive comments. At least one of us does.
By the way, I noticed in the
Post them.
UI there's a whole bunch of hotkeys you can program to do all kinds of stuff if you want to do a single button press kind of a thing.
There's all kinds of Stream Deck integration possibilities here.
Especially if you have a
A 32-button Stream Deck. Yes. So
indeed.
yes, there is all kinds of possibility there.
And as the stock at Stream Deck goes way up.
Elgato. I think somebody bought Elgato. They're owned by somebody else now.
Is the white balance
I thought
off,
that
or
was
is
the only
George the only
company.
one that gets any sun? George is the only one that gets any sun because 3 of us are in
Yeah.
Canada.
No kidding.
I don't know what my excuse is.
My light's not very. This is kind of very red,
If I turn
orangey
that light
kind of.
off. No, that doesn't
No,
help. Mike,
Mike's-
you're muted.
Mike ain't got no audio.
Oh, Mike is locally muted.
Yeah, now it's
Well, we solved the echo by eliminating Mike. Sorry, brother.
Okay, so we have the CQESWRB. Seriously? Oh, sugar. Edit.
Am I here now?
Yes.
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 Okay,
CQ.
And we got the echo
Oh,
back.
that's what's going on.
So where is this looping around?
Je ne sais pas.
have
That's
you
better.
are you actually running like loopback or something?
HRWB. That's wrong.
Okay.
How about now?
How about now? How now, brown cow? Yeah, I still hear it.
I've got everything muted except 2 channels.
That's better. Now I've got it spelled correctly. There are 13 people watching, not including the 2 of us that are testing.
Awesome.
We love
Oh,
you
yeah.
people. Thank you.
Attendance at Ham Radio Crash Course is going like way
Here,
down. We're making
You
it
can
down.
show
Are they taking a dip?
here,
There's
Vince. Show
disturbance in the
this.
force. I have to
Show which
apologize to
mic?
Josh. Sorry, we
Sorry,
ran our
Josh.
stream at the same time you did. We took
Go ahead,
one
No,
viewer away.
show my screen.
I did. You're not sending a screen. Oh, that one. Add
So-
to. Oh, how did I do that? How come I have both of them there?
That's nice. So this is my mixer, and you see everything's muted. So there's then, oh, maybe this.
You're not echoing. I am though.
So this is my out to you guys, and this is my in.
I'm still like, how did I do
this
this?
is my Rode monitor, which is my earphones, and everything else is off. I can also make my head, this sound like a Heil 1 2 3 3 2 1.
Nice.
Or Venus
Bring it down
on
and make it sound like a
WK.
PR40.
About here, 1 2 3 3 2 1. A little over here, maybe.
So we don't hear you echoing, Mike. So it's only
No,
us.
but if I mute my mic here,
And let me see if I can hear me.
And we
Echo.
keep talking.
And this is us trying to say something.
Hello, 1 2. I don't hear the echo now.
Yeah,
No.
I haven't heard any of the echoes that you guys are talking about.
I don't hear it all. And then when I turn it back on, so this comes in, mic here, channel B1. This is B1, and that's out to you and everything. And this is my
And
monitor.
Okay, but
Steve's
when we
claiming
talk,
there's nothing on the stream that's echoing. So
So
let me-
whatever it is, we've fixed it.
no, I can hear the echo on you, Vince, and me. Does anybody
Okay.
hear it but me? Maybe it's just my problem.
I don't hear it on you.
hear it.
No, actually, I do hear it now. It is very, very, very faint. Is that what you're talking about, George?
Yeah, it's very, very faint. But if once you hear it, you go, "Oh, I hear it," and you can't not hear it.
Okay,
So it's
Rod,
loud
mute
enough to hear
yourself.
it.
Okay, hold on.
Hello, test.
Okay,
Still there.
check 1 2.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still there. Okay, Rod,
I'm gonna
unmute.
I'm gonna mute
George,
me.
mute.
Test
Check 1 2.
Test 1 2.
Yep, still there. Okay, George, unmute.
Okay,
Mike, you're on headphones, but for kicks and giggles, mute. Check 1 2.
gone.
It's Mike. Holy crap! I don't
Okay.
know where it's coming from.
Let me leave and come back. That's always the next favorite thing to do.
Vince, you have
Have you
graphic.
tried turning it off and on again?
Mike, how loud are your headphones?
That's
Not
what I
very
was
loud.
thinking.
And
How
they're
Are
close
they-
full
is
frame.
your head?
Hang on. They are not, but I'm on.
Excuse me,
Let me
sorry.
just- Let me just turn them off, and you guys talk for a minute.
Okay.
Carry
Mike is
on.
going to turn them off, and he tells us to carry on.
Somewhere we're just talking.
You got to leave enough quiet
Somewhere
sound.
over the rainbow.
You need to leave enough quiet so we can hear the echo. Check one. Check one.
I
Check
don't
one.
hear it. Wait. Back. Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2. I don't hear it now.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
2, 2, 2, 2.
6, 6, 6.
Might have come back, Mark. We can't hear anything.
Well, yeah,
Two.
I'm asking you to turn it back on again.
I'm back.
Yeah, and now it's back.
All right, so it's the road. All right, give me a second.
So
This is
while
us
he's doing
giving
that,
you a
I've-
second.
I have
Oh wait,
something to show.
are those Prados?
Yeah, Grado.
Or Grados?
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Open
okay.
ear.
Those are open frame. That's almost
Yeah.
certainly where it's coming from.
Say
Grados are open frame headphones.
something. Well, just a minute. We'll play
Or
your game.
unplug your headphones so we could try it.
And this
This
has
is
been
us.
the early
Now, I put you on my
shopping show for
speakers.
podcasters.
So you're on my speakers now.
Check 1 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's even worse. Put your Grados back on, and switch back over to the Grados, and then do this. Stick your head up to the like put your headphone up to the microphone. Yeah.
Check 1,
Like
2.
put it in front. That's a front fire microphone. Don't put it on the side. Put it in front.
It was.
Okay. Check 1 2.
Now rub your head.
Yeah, I can really hear it now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tap your belly.
You know what? It's
It's
got to
his
be
earwax
magnetic
from here.
inductance.
Maybe.
I mean,
Now,
you
okay,
know,
go get the tin foil from the kitchen.
Grados are open frame, man. They put out
No,
more.
wrap
They
it
put out
around
as
the
much sound
outside
outward
wall.
as they do
You're
inward.
hilarious.
You could just try unplugging the headphones and let's just see if it goes away.
Or use a different headphone.
Well, that would be the fix.
Quit and reopen.
Yeah, I don't hear
Yeah,
it
but
now.
Grados are great cans. I'm never going to tell someone to stop using Grados.
Is it politically correct to say great cans?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Absolutely no comment.
Okay, I have something to show you guys.
Yes, please,
Please.
do.
Can we pour air to absorb the voices? Oh, come on, Marty.
Said
All right,
BCA.
prepare to be jealous.
Oh,
I have a bad word that I'm going to say shortly.
A block of milled aluminum with a radio inside?
It's my block of milled aluminum with a radio inside.
Nice.
can you show me the other end of those audio connectors?
You mean the cables?
Yes, the cables.
You bought
yes,
one.
I did.
Now, is my echo back or gone?
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2. 1 2.
Yeah, it's gone.
Sorry, man.
So I got to put on the COS Pros that I bought when I was in college.
They're
Please.
closed frame. Grados are great listening cans, but they are open frame headphones, man.
And I also have a weak driver on this side. So
If you really want to maximize the sound quality or the sound leakage, well, whatever. Anyway, have cans that sound great but leak a lot of noise. Go get yourself, Radio Sports. That'll do it the other way. Get yourself a set of electrostatics. They literally put out as much sound that way as they do this way. I got a set of Stax 207s. They're the cheapest headphones that Stax makes, and they sell for $600. And
Mike, where are your radio
so
splits?
so we're going to
My-
take those from the Ham Radio Workbench budget. Everybody gets a
Yeah, I'm
set.
sure.
Yeah, that's the problem with the budget. Now the staff is so big. If you do anything, it's an event.
It's times 6 or
Yeah.
5.
Everything is times
No
6
kidding.
these days. We have to buy
So
a
how do you
minivan.
like the radio?
I surprisingly I like it. So I have comments I'm going to put in the show on Friday. But so here's my 90,000-foot takeaway. It's a very cool radio, and everybody's going to compare it to something else, right? You're going to compare it to
course.
the
'Cause that's what people do.
705, obviously, right? So here's the bottom line: the 705 is a great radio for home. The 599 is a great radio for the field. Period.
Let me go show you what I'm going to do with my 705. So I have to go get it and haul it in here. So I will be back in a minute.
Okay. Well, I
Actually,
love my 70. I mean, honestly, I love my 705. I wouldn't
Actually,
get rid of it.
it's going to be easier to show you a picture than go get it because it's a
All right.
big friggin' tripod. So I will share it in a minute once I find a picture or two.
It's a second.
So while he's doing that, Rod, you wanted to see a connector or something? I brought over the pile of cables. What did you want to see?
Mute. Share screen.
Over.
Rod is muted.
You're
Yeah. What are you not lip reading? Come on.
no.
The hell,
Sorry.
man. Yeah. Microphone cable, something like that.
Okay,
On end. So it's just like, yeah, okay, got it.
So these look exactly like the 8-pin microphone connectors on many Japanese radios, except
Yep.
they're shrunk. They're
They're babies.
about half the diameter. So when I first saw the radio, I thought, oh, those are those big 8-pin microphone with different pin counts, and I thought, yeah, but actually getting them, they're much smaller, which is fine. The only downside to these things is the 8-pin mic connectors have a little set screw that puts the shield in a rigid position relative to the plastic connector body. These don't. And so these, in theory, they'll rotate around the connector. So you got to really make sure you clamp down on the strain relief. Otherwise, you're going to rotate it. But by the way, I did hook it up to play with the laptop. And I mentioned on a previous episode, I got one of these USB isolation gadgets that reduced noise. And all mine did was
to that episode.
create hellacious noise.
Yep.
So I took a Sound Blaster USB fob and made a cable to plug into the Sound Blaster. And I know it's like, okay, this is no good can come of this. And sure enough, no good came of it. So just a bunch of hellacious noise got pumped out of the computer into the radio or into the radio. So on a whim, I just plugged in the USB isolator and it took all the noise out. So it may still be in there generating a spike in 40 meters, but it cleared up the rest of the band. So it's at least useful.
It solved the ground loop problem, but you still have its DC to DC switcher inside there.
Yeah. And I haven't tuned around to find it again, but I suspect that's probably the case. So
What was the other thing you were driving off of it?
705.
So the 705 was probably trying to pull a crap ton of power through the USB,
Maybe.
and the little sound card is not.
The 705 was powered with the external power supply, so I don't know how much power it's trying to suck through the USB. So I don't. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah.
The other thing I did was I hooked up one of my old headsets. So I've got an old Heil, what is this? A BM10, boom mic thing. And anyway, hooked that all up and it works fine. You have to change the mic gain, obviously, a few tweaks, but it works very well. In fact, I set up an end-fed 20-meter half-wave in the driveway Saturday, and Saturday was the sideband sweepstakes. And I called probably 10, 11 stations and worked all but one. Running 10 watts is great, even a station in Hawaii. So it's a winner. The thing I really like about it, I mean, as a radio, it's all fine and dandy. What I really love about it is just the mechanical robustness is a thing of beauty. One thing that's also really cool, Rod, you're going to love this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy whose name and call I forget, but I'll put it in the show notes for Friday. He 3D prints some accessories. So one thing he did was he 3D printed little
Put it in front of your nose.
Thank you. A little 3D cap to go over the connectors.
Oh, dust covers.
So for those of us who are totally neurotic and we want to seal up our sealed connectors with more seals, now I can sleep at night. So that's way cool. But that's not even the best part. So he
only if they were captive. Or if they were captive, like on a little chain.
Actually, you could do that because these are flange-mounted connectors. You could back the screw out and put a captive chain on it with the thing. You could do that. So this guy also 3D prints a set of covers. So here's one of the covers.
Yeah.
And it goes over.
Look over the screen.
The display. and then the other one goes over.
Oh, it's like the Maestro cover.
It is. It's a micro Maestro cover.
The what?
The
I'm
Maestro,
sorry.
there's-
Well, but the what?
What-
Yeah,
what-
the thing you can't buy right now. Yes.
Yeah.
What's
I get
that
it.
thing you're
Shut
talking
up.
about?
yeah. Imagine.
Mythical.
So this would be really is really nice because it does not protrude, right? It doesn't make the radio
wow.
thicker. It's just like a hair, an eighth of an inch taller than the sides here. The problem is that nothing holds it in place, right? So
That's what elastic bands are for.
Duct
well,
tape.
so I
But wait, there's more. It'll be
wait.
Velcro.
Velcro's your friend.
Yep.
So you get some of this Velcro brand Velcro. Get it in red because the red looks really swoopy with the black.
Mm.
So you just put 2 of those on here.
Mark needs a warmer light source.
Yeah, I know.
there you
I'm
go.
waiting for an opportunity to start speaking without interrupting.
Magnets.
George.
Marty's
Anyway.
got to. You got to do it in magnets.
Good point.
Rare earth neodymium magnets.
Just-
That would
Well, I
be
assume
awesome.
that's an
You get 'em
aluminum
some
body,
new
not a
Valley
steel
ones.
body.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a. They start with a single slab and they hog it out and then
The only
mill
thing
all the
missing
stuff.
tonight is beer.
That can
That's
be
up to you,
fixed. I'll,
dude.
I'll go into the fridge and I'll reach one to you.
That
Here's
would
the
be
thing I
rum.
like about this. So this is the
You can
aesthetic thing
skip it
that
across
makes-
the
This
driveway.
is my last comment, then I'll shut up.
I'm working on it, John. I'll get there in a second.
What's cool about it is it's still pretty thin, right?
Yeah.
It does look
And
thin.
you don't have the big side things hanging over it.
Oh, it
and
packs well.
A lot of exactly. It's even though
Suitcase.
it's weirdly long,
Mm.
it is abnormally long, and having the wires come out the side. Frankly, I'm not a big fan, but I have absolutely
too.
no better idea. So okay, fine, live with it, suck it up. Now, this could easily slip
You
into.
know, I
anything.
can't say that to my customers.
Just suck it up.
What, suck it up,
should be able
live
to
with
fix this problem.
Yeah.
So anyway, I love this. I mean, it's just so. Here's the best part about it is, if you want to take it somewhere, I know, Mark. Hang on. You can just jam it in your pack or jam it in your bag or, whatever.
Sorry, put it where?
Jam it in your bag, brother.
Vince, you're going to need to know Mark.
All right.
You're going to mute Mark before he explodes.
Okay, over to you, Mark.
I forgot what I was going to say. No, I'm kidding.
Perfect.
Can you share my screen? Thank
That
you.
one?
Yes.
Just like
So-
that. So all I had to do that was click on add to stream at the bottom, George, in case
Yes.
you're wondering.
So, George, you were talking about USB isolation devices. I have a few of these because on my older FT920 radio, I need 2 USB devices to connect up to it. One is a sound card that goes in through the data port on the back, and then the other one is the USB to RS-232 adapter for CAT control. Right. So rather than buy 2 separate USB isolation devices, I found these on eBay for a pretty good price. They're $15 to $20 shipped, depending on who you buy it from and all that fun stuff. The thing to note is you can see like the USB A on the lower side of this picture, and then there's the little Analog Devices logo on the chip, kind of behind those 2 big black boxes. Those big black boxes are isolation transformers for a switching power supply. So it's a DC to DC transformer. So it's a DC isolation, and the whole point of those is to send power to the other side. And so that's how it can still be a powered hub if you don't give it any other supply. But note the little green headers.
Yes.
You can feed your own 5 volts to the downstream side. So the upstream side will be powered by the computer you plug it into, but then you can power the downstream side with your own source. It does not have a switching supply on here, so you do need to give it 5 volts or maybe 5 1/4 volts, something like that. But if you give it enough current, it'll be able to drive the downstream side nice and clean with plenty of power.
Oh, very cool. Actually,
And
that's doubly good because you really you since this radio does not have a sound card built into it. For digital modes, you have to have both the serial port for CAT control and you need a USB sound card fob thing, unless you have a analog I/O on the radio or on the computer. So
Yeah.
actually, that would be perfect because you can put 2 devices on there.
So we have a report that our echoing is back. Echo's back when Mark raises his voice.
Well,
we'll
that's
explore
because
that
I'm
in a
loud.
moment.
Hang on. Let me mute again.
I didn't hear it that time.
I did not either.
So I dumped the Cosses and went to the Jabra cordless because it weighs about a tenth.
All
Let's
right,
see.
so we'll keep trying. We'll keep
that was
dabbing here and
before-
see what happens.
I did that before someone reported, or after the Yakko was reporting. So
Okay, sorry, Mark. Please keep going.
No, I don't have anything else. I've also bought several of these one port jobbers, but I thought they also had DC inputs on the downstream side, and it doesn't look like they do.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe there's various ones out there I can root around
Yeah.
and see what else. That's a great tip, Mark. Thank you.
So yeah, these little
That's a
quad
really good
ones, especially
suggestion.
with the built-in hub, are really handy. I've got several of these.
Nice.
What's
Okay.
the key? Oh, there we go. Quad USB isolator.
Just USB
Oh.
isolator hub, and that'll find you a bajillion of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hey,
Cool.
quick footnote, George. There was a comment in earlier that we should probably cover on Friday, which is if you could only buy one, what would your consideration be now?
Between the 705 and the 599.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have a really simple answer to that. Actually, I can tell you what my answer is right now. Are you going to use it at home or are you going to use it in the field?
Right. I thought
If you're
so.
going to use it at home, slam dunk 705. Don't even bat an eye.
So
In the field, and you don't want VHF, UHF, I would
let me blow
probably
your
get the
story away.
599.
So
Yeah.
Vince, do you want to pop up my screen?
George can do that
All right, let's
because
see
George
if
you
George can
has
do
to do
that.
that too.
Delegation.
All
Yeah,
right, let's go.
I'm
So-
busy here in Photoshop.
Mike, we're going to
You see the satellite dish.
hang on. I gotta figure
Add
out
to
how to
stream.
make you. Oh, there we go. Hang on. I'm in the hunt here. Stand by.
So you click on Mike's satellite dish and you click on Add to Stream.
I don't see a satellite dish.
Down in the bottom below the video sources.
Oh,
See
that
Co's?
satellite dish.
Yeah.
So I'm working on
Yes.
10 gig. So I'm brand new at this. I know nothing about microwaves other than I use it to heat my hot dogs. So 10 gig
makes you an
for
expert.
rain. And I decided to get into rain scatter because there's guys around Toronto, most of them at Rod knows as well. And they're getting 300 to 700 kilometers doing 10 gig rain scatter. Okay, now I'm fun. I want to deal with microwave stuff. So let's see. I have to go to this screen up here. So you have to figure out where the feed horn goes. So I think it goes there. And this is the Demi Down East Microwave 3-watt transverter, which I bolted to the bottom of this, which was a Bell dish.
Did you say this is 10 gig?
10 gig.
Okay.
So you want this feed line really short, and there's a TR relay right here, transmit receive relay.
Right.
So you were asking about the 705. I haven't yet revealed this to anybody, but if I flip over 2 screens, can I do that here? 1, 2. I have taken the
Oh,
705, but I wanted
Wow.
the 705 because I wanted the waterfall,
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
and I ram mounted it to the back of the dish.
Beautiful. Well, if you're going
And
to
then-
do this, then the 705 is the only answer.
Absolutely. And this becomes a bit of a work table. So I'll put a key over here. My battery is actually going to be a 4S LiPo at a whole lot of watts because that'll run it, even in the field for normal things at full 10 watts, that'll run
Yeah.
it much longer than anybody's bladder will hold. And because I wanted to keep an eye on if I blow up the transverter, if it's really transverting, the amperage I'm drawing for, $12 on Amazon, I got out of the hobby aircraft field, the how many volts, how many amps you're drawing, and I'll incorporate that in. So I've got some good data. And then the transverter itself takes a 10 meg input at the other, one of these black things where it's covered up. So I will stick on here one of the $100 GPSDOs off Amazon. So I will be on frequency.
So
Mike,
two quick. Go ahead, Rod.
yeah, just quick safety question here. I've not seen microwave operators operate behind their dishes. And I don't know, like the dish is there to reflect it.
We had
But
that
is
question
there-
come up with Dr. Doug
Doug.
Millar.
Yeah.
And Doug says, yeah, that's the best place to stand is behind the dish.
He's behind it,
Yeah.
really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The dish is bigger than the firing from the feed horn.
That was my question, is how big the feed
Apparently.
horn is.
Unless it's a plastic radome, in which case, not such a good idea.
Yeah.
So
Nor is it a very good
So-
reflector.
So here's the scary number: 3 watts coming out the feed horn. Do you want to
Yep.
guess at the gain on the dish?
19.
28.
Anybody else?
What,
Oh, at
at
10 gigs?
10
Actually,
gigahertz?
Probably a little bit higher,
Yeah.
probably 25.
Yeah, I'm guessing the 30s.
Low 30s.
Yeah.
So if you don't know dB and you're watching, that's a 100,000 time power increase. So my 3 watts behave like 1,000
Damn near,
leaving
yeah.
the dish. Yeah,
All
Greg's
from
close. If I do it really well, 34. But because this is the first one, and I'm not sure if the feed horn's in the right place, I will probably, when I finally get some sort of signal source to play with, I will put a RAM mount on that feed horn so that I can play with it. And what I don't know, I'd love to know if I can use sun noise. Maybe somebody of our 13 people watching, or actually 10, I guess, because three others are us. If I can do sun noise. But
Steve Muse, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, said we do operate behind the dish, and his use of the first person inclusive there suggests to me that he does microwave operating. So I will wait for Steve to type in a response to your question there.
So here's trying to find the feed point using the sun and some dryer tape. High quality Canadian Tire stuff. And that's what the focus looks like. But we're on a bit of a debate going on because you asked this question and say, is that absolutely right? Because I've done the math. There's a whole math series where you put it in bird bath mode, you fill it with water, you draw a circle, because you get the idea. And my math corresponded exactly to the feed point on the standard LMB. And it's not varied by wavelength, so I've been told. But I'm learning, so.
So a couple of quick things for me. The 705, I think, has a maximum power output per band that you can configure, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty useful for not blowing up your transverter.
Does. I'll check.
I think so. I think you can say like on 2 meters, no more than 3 watts or something like that. And so that's super duper handy. The other thing is I'm curious about the frequency stability when you multiply it up that high.
I'm GPS DO locked. A 10 meg reference.
How are you
and
locking
then
the radio's TCXO?
Well, the radio's at 144, so I suspect it's reasonably solid at that frequency.
But a teeny weeny error at 144 is a big error at 10 gigs.
Well, we're going to find out. Well, I'm not hauling a 6600 out there with a GPS DO lock 6600.
Yeah,
then the Q5 2-meter transverter.
It'll depend on the mode you're operating too. I mean, if you're going to operate CW, then it's really no biggie. But I'm just curious if you know what you should do with that.
And Steve, by the way, nailed it here. By the way, Steve Muse, I apologize. He goes, I'm not going to overanalyze this at some point in time. I'll just get on the air. And my buddies say, if you get close, you will work people, and then you can worry about optimization. Yeah. So I'm not going to overanalyze it.
Oh, the only reason I'm talking about the frequency stabilities, I think there's for some of the digital modes that they're not for terrestrial 10 gigs, but if you're doing EME or something like that. Although I don't know if there's enough juice to make a difference here. There's probably not enough juice to do that. Anyway, very cool. That's very nice.
So no, I haven't touched the UHF amp for those long-term listeners. Okay, George, you can remove me.
Let me see if I can figure out how to do this.
Click on the image on the bottom where the preview is, and it'll say remove. Below the broadcast window.
Oh, I had a full screeny mode.
Vince, is that your brother?
Where?
Daniel Dion?
Yeah. No, that's a different spelling of the name. That is the anglicized version of the name, Dion, Dionne, from Quebec, usually. So somewhere there's some relation. I'm sure.
A different Dan Dion then.
A different Dan Dion. Well, there's three or four. So if you follow the chat logs, you'll notice we're mentioning something about Pubnico, which is where my father was born. Because the last name Dion comes from one place in Nova Scotia. And when I was working at Radio World Central one day, I had somebody come in and say, hey, I need to buy a GPS. Oh, what are you doing with it? You know, are you driving? Are you trucking? Are you hiking? Are you biking? Oh, I'm hiking. Great. Well, where do you go hiking? oh, well, somewhere around Yarmouth or, maybe Digby. And I said, oh, okay. Well, when you go hiking around Lower West Pubnico, and the wife stops me and smacks the husband on the side and says, he knows Pubnico. And she looks at me, she says, how do you know Pubnico? I said, my last name is Dayon. He said the name right, she says.
He pronounced it correctly. He must be from there.
It's such a small world. So it was just like, it was one of the most wonderful things to happen to me while I was at the store. It was great.
Jeff Glass asked me whether I sorted out the multiple webcam latency thing I was talking about on the last podcast. No-ish. I've got a system that works, but I've gotten it down to about half a second of latency, and that's about as good as I've been able to get it. I think it will be okay, maybe, to use for the down camera. Because you're not having to do any lip syncing on that. But if I have both of my face cameras, the one over at the workbench and the one here at the computer, plugged directly into the computer to have a low latency link, and then the audio and the video of my mouth will be synced. And then I think dealing with a half-second delay of watching my hands and the equipment on the table will be okay. Or I just say screw it and get a computer with more USB ports that I can use for streaming, and then have yet another dedicated box that I really don't want to do. But here we are.
Hey, George, did you see what Kyle did for his Node-RED contest monitor?
No, I didn't.
He's built this beautiful, in contesting, you got like people operating on the picnic table that everybody does everything else, and he's built this monitor that sits in that room so you can look up and see if the other guy's doing okay, or you can fire him. And so
we're
he's
gonna
in the Node-RED.
So we're gonna have Kyle on the show in a couple weeks to talk about internet in the field for like logging, like his whole logging
That's
networking
great.
project.
You can't talk about Node-RED unless I bring him on the show where we do Node-RED.
Well, you're welcome to dive into it. Go for it. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I love his project, so I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Oh, I forgot the last part of that funny story where the wife kept smacking the husband on the shoulder. Turns out the property he lives in was right next door to the house my grandmother was born in. I forgot that part. Small world. I'm trying to find.
It's very
that on Google
disconcerting
Map,
to have two Vinces, and since there's a time delay, it really looks like two different people.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Oh yeah,
Here's
is.
the technical view. Yeah, this is Vince.
Yeah, so when Vince number one moves, Vince number two doesn't do anything. You go,
Yeah.
that must be two people.
So I have a question for everybody that cares. Did we ever come up with an answer for the best value podcasting camera to use? It wasn't $500.
I am very happy with my Logitech.
This is a Nexago I'm pretty happy with.
Mark?
So I've got several Logitech C920s, and they can do 1080p, but at like 15 frames a second.
The 925 fixes that. That's what I'm running.
The 925? Okay. So this is, the one that I'm using right now is a Razer Kiyo Pro, Kiyo. And I think it was about $150-ish, and it can do
700 Canadian.
It can do much wider angle if you care about that. I actually was intending to use this as a down camera. I think it'll make a good down camera on my workbench. And then if I end up liking them, I may buy two more and replace my Logitechs with them.
Limited time deal, $99 on Amazon Prime.
Really? Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Right now? Oh, see, it isn't a show unless
all
we
gone.
go buy something.
Damn it! I told you,
HRWB bump.
Jonathan. I told you, that show doesn't exist.
Funny.
No, they're
Razer?
$99.
R-A-Z-A-R?
File save
Yes.
as. No, not
Cairo?
check-in.
Pro. Got it.
File.
Kiyo Pro.
Better than the Logitechs, I hope.
I think so.
148 Canadian, Rod.
Ooh.
You know what's happening, eh?
Buy now.
Desktop.
People going back to work?
The Razer Cairo X is only 100 Canadian.
Is that the old? I think that might be the older one, and it had
1080p at 30.
there are other differences on that one. It is not as good of an option.
Brand.
Okay. I haven't ordered anything from Amazon in
Logo,
at least a
click.
day.
Upload
I'm still
logo.
looking
Had to
for
can-
cheap HDMI cameras that are decent. It's
Yeah.
because then you can get into switching. But
Yeah, cheap.
Oh.
No, I even
There it
I
is.
yeah.
it's
I
just
got
not.
I got a lead on one from John Jacobs, and I he uses them at work, and I got one, and it's just I can't make it work.
We need a cash register sound. I agree.
Cha-ching.
Do I have one
The
here?
ding ding.
We need the Pink Floyd Money
So-
soundtrack.
So,
So
for,
I've been
well,
using the Logitech, whatever the hell the web streamer thing is, and they're pretty good for work. But I just don't
Yeah.
find on this that it's quite up to snuff.
I mean, if all we're doing is talking heads like this, it really doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
are not interested in video quality, right? I mean, that's not what
Well,
we're doing.
True, but if you go out of your way to make it look fuzzy and unappealing, then it just looks cheap. Even
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 6 heads on the screen, you can kind of get away
Yeah.
with that. But
Yeah.
if you look at a lot of other streams, when they have like a nice Sony or Canon camera forced into webcam mode, it really looks good.
So, okay, chat room. What do you think about the quality of my video compared to the quality of everybody else's video on this talk or on this stream? Because I am using the Razer, and I just brought up I maximized my YouTube stream of this. So
I'm
can I-
probably using one of the best cameras here, except that my lighting is crap. So I need
You
I don't
need
have any
better help
lighting.
than lighting.
I was going to go with romantic.
I think somebody said that already.
Yeah.
So I've been getting compliments on this Nexaco that I bought a year ago, and it's also got a built-in ring light, which I can turn on or off.
Yeah. And as somebody mentioned in my office, my lighting is crap. I've got a 4-foot shop light pointing up at the ceiling for indirect lighting in here, but it's an LED shop light, and it's not great. Between that and the monitor lighting,
So it's time for Vince's lighting dirty secret. I'll shine the camera up here. Wait a minute. And so this is where to go? Vince's second. There we go. Vince's second. Oh, click. How do I make this happen? I don't know how I make it happen. I hate it when that happens. No, Vince's second. There it is. There we go. Here's Vince's dirty secret for lighting. This is what's the word? Fluorescent lamp,
Piece of paper.
and that is a Kleenex as a diffuser. And I put it up out of the way of my primary camera, and it seems to work just fine business.
Now, kids at home that are thinking about contacting lawyers, this is an LED lamp, not anything hotter.
not an incandescent.
In the photography world, we would use margarine containers for diffusers.
Yeah.
On the flash.
Rod has a noticeably smoother frame rate. Yes, George has great depth of field because he has the $10,000 camera.
9.
Vince has the $124 camera in Canadian.
What camera are you using, George?
This is a Sony ZV-1. So it looks like a point and shoot with a lens that pops out, but it's kind of made for vlogging mainly. But it's a still camera or video camera.
Somebody is sexier
Okay.
than the rest of
And
us.
I approve this message.
It's awesome.
That's what Rod has.
Yeah, same one.
This isn't bad when, the autofocus at least is quite good on this. And it comes into focus quick.
Yeah, that looks really good, Vince. Which camera is that?
This is a Logitech C925 Echo.
That doesn't work very well, does it? This is supposed to be autofocus.
Yeah, make sure you block your face out when you do
The
that.
sun has come up.
Shout out to Dave, Whiskey Oscar Tango Victor, who is watching us this evening
Kyle nailed it
as
on
we
the
screw
Kleenex,
around
so
with dry runs. Do you like the logo there, George, or do you want something different?
Oh, I didn't see.
Can you make it bigger?
Well, I
I can. I think I can.
I knew you
Yeah,
could.
I would.
think I can.
That
I think I
that
can. I
black
think I can.
stripy space is kind of dead air, so a bigger would
It
probably
is
be better.
it is dead space. Like if we can define a custom background. The other thing I could do is just make the background pure white.
20 people now have nothing better to do.
Good Lord.
So I
I'm
can make
logged
a
in
pure
19
white
times.
background.
I don't want to burst your
See,
bubble.
I'll tell you what I would be doing if it wasn't me is this.
Yeah, that always
Hockey.
looks the same. You can just watch the same game over and over again.
1280
You
by
think hockey's
720.
bad?
But they're
Get into
playing in
F1.
LA, so the game's
Yeah.
just starting. So
So how do you like the lighting here? I put some light action here. I can change the color, temperature, or the
Oh,
brightness.
Jeff, I've got some really low webcams. I think it fell off the back of the desk, and I haven't even bothered to pull it up off the ground.
1280 by 720. Is that what that said?
George, yeah, I mean, you're lighting up half your face.
Well, it's more dramatic that
That's
way.
better, though.
Yeah,
That's better.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this is off, and
Thanks,
it just looks
Marty.
dark and muddy. And at
Post,
least-
okay, George,
Yeah.
now I'd like you to post Marty's message on the line. Just click on it.
Marty's message. If you guys find 6 more,
Just post it. No, bring it up. Bring it up on the screen. That's your test since you're a producer.
Oh God.
right now.
Okay. Let's see. What am I? What am?
Just
what do you want me
click
to
on
do?
it. Just click on it.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go out of full screen mode here. Okay. Let's see. Marty, thank you for the test. Oh, show. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's a great feature. Marty, if you guys find 6 more pasty hams, you can make an awesome Ham Radio Workbench calendar.
That's great. We used to love
Oh,
you, Marty.
God.
Thanks
You know
very
what?
much
We
for
could
that.
probably sell it.
It's like the CQ calendar. It's like the old fat white guy calendar. It's just,
yeah. The world does
Sorry.
not need that,
yeah, we don't need more of that.
and we don't need the
Oh.
sexy YL's calendar either. That can just
No,
Not
well, that's
exist.
another
The
problem.
real question is, why are all the Canadians bald? I know we've had that before.
Yeah, I think it's because the ozone layer is more burned out up there, and you guys are just closer to
Gotta
the
be
sun. Must be
Closer to the
solid.
Let's
aurora.
try this.
it's
Because
all the
I-
aurora. Yeah,
I decided I was fighting a haircut during COVID and I got lazy. That's why.
Speaking of
rocking
which, I
that
got my
Telly
booster
Savalas
shot
look.
this week.
Yep,
I
exactly.
did too. I got mine on Saturday
Loves
morning,
you,
and
baby.
it knocked me out for 2 days.
Which one did you get?
So I was originally vaccinated with Pfizer, and then I got boosted with Moderna.
I was a double Astra, and then I got boosted with Pfizer. I had maybe a little. Now I think of it, last night I didn't sleep well because it was about 30 hours in, but other than that, nothing. Except
Yeah,
like somebody punched me in the arm.
So I got mine at about 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and Saturday night by 10 p.m. I had severe chills that didn't go away until about 4 a.m. And
That
so,
was my first shot.
yeah, so for 6 hours on Saturday, I was
Harp.
absolutely miserable and almost
Right
unable
on,
to sleep.
Steve.
But
Great.
the funny thing, what Steve mentions
to
about Harp is I've actually had dinner with Steve Floyd at Dayton one year, who was one of the designers of Harp.
Oh, no kidding. They use a flex.
He would have loved to. No, actually, they did. They had a 5,000 up there.
Well, the funny thing is, I would imagine that as an exciter, maybe.
Yep, they did. They had a
Maybe why not?
5,000 up there.
How does that look, George, as backdrop?
Too big.
Too big.
I
Logo's
like
too
the
big?
dark background.
Logo's too big
Yep.
because it gets cut off.
It's covered up.
You just helped my lighting in my office, though, because you went from dark to white.
Yeah.
And that's
I've
what-
got this big ultra wide monitor, right? So
Those of us who are
Um,
lit by our screens.
Yeah. So Vince, the theme of I think the theme should be black, the background, just because the white is too stark, even though that's the color scheme. It's our boring monochromatic color scheme. So I think, I hate to say it, but the right thing is probably to put the logo in a white box with enough border so it doesn't look like it was just clipped at the edge of the black pixels. You know what I mean? Give it some white gutter, and then put that on a black background.
Oh, we're down to
Boy.
19. We put someone to sleep.
Okay, and so I can drop this. I can invert this and make the workbench smaller on
What are you
it.
editing in?
Photoshop.
You know what? I for work, because Photoshop
Yeah.
was overkill, I bought PicMonkey, and I'll tell you, I can rapid deploy just about anything with that.
Thank you, John.
And it's web based. So, what about a generic circuit board background?
So why were you getting the big blessing mark?
So let's
Because
try
I
this.
sneezed.
Oh,
And I was like rushing to find the mute button on the screen before I sneezed, and I just barely got it in
I
time.
know
what?
what? Something I missed,
I
and
need
it
to
was
do
like,
that.
oh, you agreed with you. I was curious what you said.
I need to do that on my Stream Deck.
Have a sneeze button.
Vince,
Yeah,
I think that's
probably do
easier, as they say, on the eyes.
Yeah, I prefer the dark mode, honestly.
Okay, so never mind dark and light, or the size is
looks
good
fine.
here.
Yeah, logo's good.
Okay, so then I'll just invert this and we'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good.
So
All
it's
right.
Control
Well,
D.
let's
Let
hide
me see if I
that.
can do that.
And
So, by the way, I've been running all the audio into the mixer and recording it so I can make sure that it all sounds good. Because there's if for Friday or whenever we want to do this when we're recording a show like Friday, then I need to take the audio stream. But the audio sounds good to me, so I imagine it'll be fine.
Yeah.
oh, there's a good
Okay,
question
so
for
you-
our 19 listeners. Is all of our audio even compared to each other?
It's all sounded good to me, but I can't tell about my own audio, and I tend to be loud. You may have noticed.
Your audio sounds good, Mark, without being distorted.
Oh,
You're 5 and 9, old man.
Because
So-
sometimes, Mark, on the highs you get a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Give us a line. Give us a line.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Hark! The light through yonder window breaks. Is it the Eastern Sun or an ICOM 705? Maybe a Discovery TX 500. Who's next?
My name is Rod Hardman, and I endorse this message.
There we go. Mike?
this is me, and if you share my screen, it took me about 30, not even 20 seconds to do a hotkey on the Stream Deck for mute. So look here, I hit
Nice.
mute, Control D, and I reach over to the Stream Deck, and as long as this is in focus, audio goes way back. Isn't that cool?
Slacks
That
fidelity.
was very cool.
Good comment. I forgot I was on the wrong microphone. I'm on my goofy headset. That's the problem.
So how do we take off the?
I think that my audio has
commentary.
presence.
You are present.
Oh,
Hi, Carmbo.
Do you want
it's
me
a
to
good
change
thing.
to the
It's a good
Jabra?
thing that Bill Mara is still alive. Otherwise, he'd be.
What kind of
rolling in his
presents?
grave.
Exactly.
Is
What
this,
happens when I
oh,
change
this
to
is
the
not one.
Jabra?
Santa Claus presence.
So this is the Jabra audio.
So Marty
Which
said
should be
Vince
sharp.
lacks
So-
fidelity.
Yeah, that's because I was on my headset. Is this
Ah.
any better now?
Yes,
it's probably
much.
a whole bunch better.
Much.
Sounds more podcasty if I get up really close to us.
Yes.
It's even on frequency. That's great.
So
Because my headset does have a TCXO built in, but
Uh,
yeah.
do you have an oven?
Thanks, Mark.
so
That was a legitimate scratch, by the way. That was not a
Not like any other time. Okay.
not anything. I mean, I do that often, where that is what you think it. Yeah. Anyway, you
So-
can hear all the
Hear all
nose
the
think
hairs.
nose
this is-
hairs. That's perfect.
So
Sorry,
Vince,
Mike,
this
go
is
ahead.
what I think. Vince, this is what I think you went through. So I'm on the Jabra right now. 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
3, 2, 1. And now I'm not I'm on the road.
That's right.
So
Okay. So I think we have a reasonable handle on this platform thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised, frankly, from the moment we did this, within 5 or 10 minutes, it seemed to be working as expected. So
Yeah.
so far so good.
So
I
an
do-
hour in of testing.
Yeah, well, we sort of finished the testing in 15 minutes, and now we're just in the BS part of the show. So I do have a question for people that are listening here. We have 20 people watching, or at least in theory. So this coming Friday show is the holiday shopping show. We have a special guest who will make a special guest appearance tentatively, and that's Jeremy KF7IJZ. So it's taken a long time to get him booked on the show, but we should have him on if the creek don't rise. So being that it's the holiday shopping show, if anybody has any suggestions, stick it in the chat here, or if you have any topics for which you would like a recommendation, stick it in the stick it in the show.
Put it in a $100 bill and put it in the mail to me. Your US dollar goes better up here.
So now I'm trying to figure out how to do a screen share. Oh, there we go.
Yes,
Your
Friday
mic
will
is
be
muted.
expensive. I also another thing too while
my
we're at it
wallet.
here for those of you
And-
watching, do you think it'd be a good idea for us to live stream the shopping show? We'll produce it like an audio podcast like we always do and take out all the 4-letter words like we always do. But for Yucks, we were thinking about doing a live stream like this on Friday. So if you think that would be a fun thing to do, would love to know.
Spaceballs.
Waiting on parts from the last. Okay, yes.
Waiting on parts from the last show.
My parts arrived. They're
Okay.
finally here. I've even taken them out of the box to look at them.
I think we should live stream it. It doesn't matter. We can delete it and
Yeah.
Can we
know,
overlay holiday music? The challenge will be with that is some copyright problems
Yeah.
as we pop it off onto YouTube. So we might get away with like a 3 or 4 second clip of Jingle Bells or something, but that might be about it.
there's got to be royalty-free Jingle Bells.
We
So-
we do it we do it in the audio show. We probably won't do it on the YouTube because of the copyright issues.
Am I all
So
fuzzy
what-
on
one-
YouTube?
Don't we?
Sorry.
The Jingle Bells stuff we put in post, don't we, after the show?
Yeah.
We don't play that live.
No.
So
So
that's-
to be clear about the live stream that we're talking about, we're proposing doing a
Doing this.
live only stream and not posting the video on YouTube afterwards. So if you weren't there for the live stream, sorry, all you get is the post-produced audio episode. The same as that we would do if we weren't doing any live stream, right? So it's not like you're losing any content. You're just losing all of the BS between the content that you're not getting yet now. So, like, the live stream would be for audience participation. We'd, like, talk to the chat room and ask you questions and get your recommendations or feedback on things, and would give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes, how the sausage is made kind of view into how we produce these podcasts. And by we, I mean Rod, Vince, and George, because I don't do anything except show up.
You and I both.
Well, good-looking
Yeah.
talent
Steve's got a
is
good
enough
question.
work on its own.
There's a lot of great comments here. The last one, Steve's comment, why wouldn't you just post the YouTube video? We thought about it.
Yeah.
So one option, and frankly, we sort of had a conclusion, but it could be debatable. Should we, A, live stream the show as we record it, B, live stream a separate segment of video that reflects stuff we've otherwise talked about on the audio only part, or not do the video at all. But obviously we're gearing up to be able to do video for various other reasons too. So one of the things we were talking about is when we have a guest on the show, we want the guest to be super comfortable, and not everybody is comfortable on video. And when you're doing a live stream, if somebody makes a gaffe, then they wish they hadn't have done it, then you can't take it back. So with the audio podcast, and that doesn't happen very often, but once in a blue moon, somebody says something about a product that's not announced or something dumb they wish they had never said, we just take that out. Otherwise, we don't do a whole lot of editing, and it probably shows. So that's one reason why we want to keep the audio main program thing produced. But then the question is what to do with the video. So the main reason to do the video stuff to start with is to do video snippets of things that we you describe it in 10 minutes, you could just show it, right? There's things that are easier just to show. Like one of the suggestions here is to show Vince's desoldering tool. So I think that's a fantastic suggestion, and it's a very good one. So that's the sort of thing that works well on video. But besides doing that sort of thing, when it's just us, talk about responding to the audience. Geez, look at that.
Oh, I got one of those.
There's Vince's tool. So
Hey, now, it's not that kind of show.
yeah, that's HRWB After Dark. So I hear that growling sound. It's so familiar. What you got?
I
there,
have
Mike?
one too, but mine's still in the box. I haven't had an opportunity to use it
Okay,
yet.
sorry to distract from George. The only thing it misses is there's no on-off switch on it. So once I've left it plugged in for 17 days.
Oh, that sucks.
Ooh,
Yeah, the tip goes after a while.
Wow.
But yes,
Where-
worth
where
every
does the tip go?
penny. It welds itself closed.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway,
How about-
continue on about the live
Carry
stream,
on, George.
Yeah.
Sorry. Typical
I was
show.
sort of in my stream of consciousness on the live stream. So I think the punchline is we're trying to get all of our video ducks in line here so we could do video whenever we feel like it. When we did the QSO Today podcast in the whatever the conference room thing that we had set up there, it was really fun because we just hung out like this, and people would come and show up, and we were showing our workbenches, and I was busy like desoldering some stuff, and Vince is like, "What's that thing?" And it's like, "It's my desoldering gun," and so now he's got one. So that sort of stuff is really fun. It's great to show stuff we can't adequately describe. So anyway, reason why
Jeff-
we do video is for stuff like that. Go ahead, Mark.
Jeff just brought up a question that was very much one of your concerns. So read Jeff Glass's comment and answer it, please.
Shopping show with visuals would be. Hey, Vince, could you mute your honker?
No, but you can mute me.
Ooh, let me learn how to do that. I would
The
love to learn
power.
how to do-
And then you can post Jeff's question.
Done.
it's going now.
Oh,
Now
you guys
post
are really,
Jeff's question.
You guys are so
There you
useful.
go.
I'm so glad you're here. Okay, Jeff says, yeah, shopping show with visuals would be very useful, but would that audio translate directly to a podcast? Seem like two separate formats. That's exactly the debate we had, because the first thought was, wouldn't it be great to do a live stream of the shopping show? And our fear is we would say, "Ooh, look at this really cool radio that I've got. Isn't that awesome? What do you think?" And then someone would say, "Yeah, that's really cool." And then if you're listening on the audio, you go like, "What in the world are they talking about?"
So this is where you
And
need
we
the
don't want to
traffic
fall
cop.
into that trap.
Yeah.
You need a traffic cop to say, describe,
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at. So
just to represent the other side of this, just to play devil's
Yes.
advocate. We've had that before with some guests so for people that imagine, we often do this in Skype, like have this video just when we're recording. And it's useful because we're able to make hand signals and that kind of stuff. They often misinterpret that as like, oh, point at this, right? And that becomes really jarring when it comes to the audio because people just don't.
Yeah.
Now, shopping show, can we all remember to do that? Probably. But I'm undecided on this one because I think, do we diminish part of the audio quality accidentally, especially when we're dealing with objects?
I think at the end of the day, for me,
time
if-
wave.
if you're listening to the show on your tractor, the last thing you want is to wonder what's the in thing that these guys are talking about. What's the in joke or what's the
Yeah.
and so we need to avoid that entirely. And so that's the major reluctance to do video is that. So if whatever we could do that doesn't cause that to happen, then we'll. So one thought is we just do the show like we always do it in audio. And then in addition to that, we do a live stream for an hour and make that a little bit of a supplemental show and tell, so that once you listen to the show, you can go back and look at the video and go, oh, that's the thing,
Yeah.
for instance.
So personally, I think it's up to us. Yeah, we're not doing a second audio channel of descriptive video.
I thought that was a good idea.
It's
can-
too much
it's fine.
post production. I think the real answer is that
In
we
Spanish.
as hosts have to be good about making sure that doesn't happen. If we catch each other doing it, we have to say, stop. Audio podcast, describe what you're holding up. If a guest does it, we have to do it, but maybe be a little bit more polite about it. I think it's up to us to enforce that we do that correctly. And I think we can get into the habit of doing that. I 100% agree with the concern. I think it's a concern that we can address ourselves. And once we get in, I mean, we're already in the habit of it. I think when it's just the five of us doing a podcast, even though we may show something on the, hold something up on the screen, I'll hold this up and it'll get someone's attention. And Mike will say, yeah, Mark's holding up a GPS module on the thing, and I'll make the obligatory joke about, well, let me get it closer to the microphone so the podcast listeners can see it. That stupid joke that I make all the time. So we're already cognizant of this. It's just that the live stream adds other viewers to that discussion, right? It adds other viewers to that.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
I think you cannot do audio and you cannot do video and make them. You have to do one or the other as the best quality finished product. So what
Audio.
I mean by that is like if you do an audio production and you happen to have a live stream going, don't expect the live stream to be spectacular.
Yes.
If it occasionally is beneficial, that's great, but
Yeah.
but expect a lot of it to be talking heads. The flip side is if you're doing video and audio, video implying both, then you cut it and edit, and you tend to do it at a faster clip. You don't do a lot of long drawn out prose. So I think we have to decide what the main thing is. And the main thing is an audio podcast, and I think that comes first. So I think
100% agree.
Thanks. So I think if anything, we might just do this live stream, do it as an audio production, and as Mark described the other day when we were talking about this very well, you'll see kind of like the cuts in between. So like we may do the segment, and then we'll take a 5-minute break, and we kind of BS during the break, and then we come back and start the next segment. In the audio show, you never see that stuff in the middle because there's calorie free.
Occasionally comes out as a blooper.
I was going to say, I listen to Security Now, or I haven't lately, but they do it both ways and pull it off.
Yeah,
What do you mean do it both ways?
They do what we're going to do. They've been doing it for years, but they are producing a podcast. And if you watch it live, what you see live is different than what you get in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Podcast is shorter, a little cleaner, a little tighter.
But for our premium members, we will have 3D rendered German tools available in VR.
And the record shall show that at minute 88, the Weehas came out.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, good God.
Yeah, so it seems like we're getting a lot of comments that kind of agree with everything we're saying. The audio podcast is absolutely the primary format. The live stream will, quote unquote, suffer, and I put that in very much quotes because we're not selling it as a video product. We're selling it as a behind-the-scenes special feature of the audio podcast.
I think we sort of can get caught into this. We already have, because in case you don't know, we're on Skype. And that's only just started right in the last 6 or 8 months. We used to just do audio, no video, and then we sort of migrated into video. So, I have caught us doing it where we're talking about something, and we've posted screenshots into the show notes or on Facebook, and so we're halfway there, or 3/4 of the way of already doing a hybrid. Or
what time zone do you plan to do the live stream? We usually record our shows at 6 p.m. on Friday nights.
9 p.m.
6 p.m.
9 p.m.
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, whatever that is, UTC, depending on.
You know what they're going to say
by
hour 7? You're going to see both Rod and I looking for those ham radio workbench pillows that
Pillows.
George sent us.
Why do you
Mine's
think I got the
upstairs.
pillows? Oh,
You got
Yeah.
nobody's seen those.
No one's seen
we're
the
up to
pillow.
22. You got
Oh,
one
there's
there, Rod?
there's one
Mine's
right behind me.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Mine's right behind me in the picture.
I use mine all the time when I'm sitting in the recliner.
So we take.
Got it.
There we go. And
so
then
every
the
YouTuber
proper
has to have a
position
phone handle or a
for
pillow.
Eastern time zone, folks. That's how we do it.
That's how we roll.
That's how we
Do
roll.
we have ham radio workbench? Now we're going to need like t-shirts. I don't actually know. Forget it, because you guys usually wear your Flex one, and I'm good with that.
Right. I usually wear my Flex shirt.
Well, I
would
need to throw some money at a graphic
designer. Wear one.
I need to throw some money at a graphic designer and come up with a Halibut Engineering logo. You're damn well sure that there are going to be some T-shirts and stickers made of that.
That'll sound fishy.
Yeah, actually, T-shirts. I think we should look at doing some T-shirts. One of the things too, by the way, I've I watch a ton of YouTube ham radio YouTube videos things, and there's quite a variety, right? And a lot of the channels are doing what do you call it? Affiliate
Worldwide CW.
Yeah, affiliate links or Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee or whatever. And those are all great. We went a real different path, which is like, let's just get a couple of companies to give us money to pay for the expenses. Then we don't have to shake you down. So
I like the background, Vince.
Yeah, I just I'm
That
not
looks
happy.
good.
I'm not happy where the white is sitting. It's too close to the right hand edge versus the top. I'll square
Yes,
that off
you have
a
to
bit.
I think
balance
it lost
it,
some
but-
resolution. It's a little fuzzy
Uh,
in the down sample.
I haven't shaved today.
Not
That's got to
you.
be it.
By the way, I noticed that YouTube, when I went into the broadcast, why is everybody fuzzy? And my default streaming was 360p.
Yeah. I like
It
Jonathan
was-
Surprise's idea of we need ham radio workbench placemats, lunchboxes, and action figures.
Action figure. Collect them
That's-
all.
Action figures is horrifying.
Yeah, actually,
Halibut
we
engineering
could
sounds
do
like it'd be a fish
we should
using
do
a soldering
HR
iron.
HRWB Lego characters.
Oh,
'Cause do you
I
remember
would
there
love
was-
to be a minifig.
Remember a couple years ago they had like women scientists of NASA Lego
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
We have it.
It was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a company in the UK that does custom minifigs. I have the
Bobbleheads.
cast of Firefly in a minifig. I also have
Oh,
the
really?
Apollo 13 crew and Gene Kranz. Yes, Firefly. Oh, very good. Have you watched it yet?
Do you know what?
No.
I don't have a Blu-ray player.
Oh no! Well, I'm not
So
buying you a
I'll go
Blu-ray
watch
player.
it. I'll go watch it in the computer or rip it or something, right? Nope, not a
Oh.
Blu-ray.
Uh-oh.
I'll get it resolved.
I'll-
If you're
I'll-
reminding
fix
me,
this.
I go to the sorry to distract from your story, but I go to the
It's okay.
cottage. Nobody's around for a week. Oh, I'll watch it up here. In the middle of summer, I pop it in. Not a Blu-ray player. Okay. Forget it.
So I just realized I'm supposed to be at another meeting right now. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Yeah?
supposed to be helping a new ham get on air.
Go.
So
Just
on over
invite
here.
him in here.
this is
Sure.
no, let's not do that.
You're the
But let's
host,
try this
so-
background out. And there it goes. That's square, so that's better. Yeah, but I got to bounce like in a hurry.
Go.
Okay,
So,
well, actually, I think
this is me.
we've accomplished the goal for this evening.
Thank you,
at this
gentlemen.
point.
It's always a pleasure.
Take care, Vince. Thanks.
Keep having
you,
fun
Vince.
without me. Oh, if I
Let's
leave,
order.
I just leave studio, not end broadcast. That would be me.
Oh,
There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah, that
Poof,
works.
Gone. Oh, he's partially gone.
Bye,
Second Vince isn't
Bye,
gone
second
yet.
Vince.
His doppelganger remains. Oh, by the way, Mark, I got to tell you, I have circulated the Turkey Cthulhu image
What?
around my family. Mark has this picture of a turkey with a bunch of octopus tentacles coming out the bottom, and it's either
I'll
like
see if I
a
can find
Kraken
it.
or Cthulhu. And so I grabbed a snapshot of that and I sent it to my son, and I said,
Cthulhu.
here's a picture of
Definition.
tomorrow's turkey dinner. I just wanted to whet your appetite. It's
I
like
have to
the
look
most
up the
repulsive
word
thing.
Cthulhu.
Shoot, where is
Sure,
it?
Kraken.
It's in my timeline somewhere, isn't it?
It's in your Twitter feed somewhere, but it was just hilarious.
Oh, I can't find it.
Yeah, it was. It's like, oh,
Is
man.
it
Somebody's
Turk
on our
Kraken?
channel.
Yeah,
a Turkraken or a
the
Kathurki? Kathurki.
Kathurki.
There it is.
Even before I saw the words there, I thought, oh, it's like a Cthulhu Thanksgiving.
Now
Here.
you and Vince, George, you and Vince are editing, producing because you were the two.
So-
you were both logged in as part of the email you sent us, which we okay.
Yeah, so I'm the master cylinder. I can hit the end broadcast button and take this whole thing apart. So
Right.
yeah,
But that was
Yeah, the big button.
because when you were we don't want to spend the extra $8 or what was it, a
Yeah,
month
so
or a
the
year?
deal is when you buy the license for StreamYard, you get essentially two super user accounts. They could, I don't know what they call it. You can run a show, and I didn't realize that. So anyway, if everybody could be a super user to run a show, then you have to buy additional monthly $8 a month per person license. So that would be another whatever for 24 bucks or something like that, which we
I
could
don't
do if we think it's important. We could do that.
I don't think we need another $8 a month per person for each of us.
It's
Yeah.
a month, eh? Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little more than I thought. The theory actually was that we have a universal account, and who's ever running the show that night just logs into the HRWB account and just runs it, which seems fine to me.
And then you have one backup.
Yeah,
That's
which
fine.
is always Vince at this point. But we should change Vince's account to be like HRWB2.
Right.
Ooh, yeah.
So we have a co-pilot.
Uh-oh. You're muted.
Muted. Can't hear you.
It's funny. I make the same look.
Yeah,
Still
that's the
muted.
switch on the mic. What?
Yep. There we go.
Still
We got
muted.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happened to
Oh,
your student?
Well, there was a slight scheduling error. He didn't see my email,
Oh.
so we'll do this tomorrow night. I
Welcome
so yeah. So
Well, we
we'll
better
back.
start cramming.
Now we're entering hour number 3.
Oh God.
Hey, this is just like a show. We're right about the midpoint.
So I noticed a couple of chats. The way that StreamYard animates between them is really classy. Yeah, it is. It's very nice. It's very slick. And we've learned the majority of what we need to do on StreamYard in about 15 minutes. It's amazing how quick it is.
The delay to YouTube is only 15 seconds, Mark? You're watching,
Yeah,
right?
about
It's
that.
not
Yeah,
that
it's
long.
about
Yeah, about that. It's pretty short right now.
Hey, so Vince, when you put up when you do the show a comment, which I love, I think that's a fantastic feature. How do you
Mhm.
make that comment go away?
I
Click it
clicked
again.
on. I clicked on it again. So
Oh,
if you
and
look
that
in the
just makes it go
comments
away.
panel, you'll see that I've highlighted that comment. And now if
I
you
brought up DMR jar already a minute ago.
Um, oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, it's actually pretty intuitive if you actually think. Cool. Yeah, I like John's comment.
So
Going about
5-second
DMR.
delay, guys.
Is that all?
Yeah.
It's not
Thursday might just be a Thursday, Randy, but it's
Randy.
still LidNet
Hey,
on
Randy.
98003.
Randy.
Randy, how are you, my friend?
You know Randy?
With only 4 of you
Do
on
I know
screen,
Randy?
your
Yeah, I know
logo's hidden.
Randy.
How do you know
Yeah,
Randy?
he's
Oh, he's next. Connect.
Yeah.
Repeater nightmares in Toronto.
Oh, of
Also,
course.
I know Randy.
Yeah, I know Randy as a West Coaster with a weird call sign. So
His cottage is not far from our cottage, sort of somewhere in there, right, Randy? So
With only 4 of you on screen, your logo is hidden.
No,
that's right.
He's right.
ooh, really? Let's
Yeah.
try that
Yeah,
again.
just remove one of us for a minute, and you'll see. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It goes full screen.
Can you? Is there a stacking order? Can you bring it forward?
You can
Ne-
do an overlay
negatory.
banner, I think, can't you?
Yeah. There's a way to put a bug on it. So
I've had a
there-
I have the Flex Radio banner on top all the time, but
Well, then there's a
Maybe
logo that we can put in, right?
Yeah.
So the logo will always sit on top. So then the question is, I guess it will have a
remove somebody,
uh,
Vince, for a second.
Okay.
So we go to,
I removed Mike.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
he's
there's the
still
button.
talking and he doesn't know we can't hear him.
So the StreamYard bug's up there. How did you put that up?
see,
there?
that's how I get to.
I just clicked on logo in the brand tab.
Uh-huh.
See, only
Uh,
Vince saw that I gave him the finger because I was
Yeah.
in the green room.
Oh, I see.
George,
can't-
George would
you
have seen
can't-
it too if he was looking.
Can you hear me? You couldn't hear me
No.
though. You could just see me.
Negative.
Yeah.
Not when you're taken
No,
out of the
that-
room.
You're true
That's
backstage.
one thing
we
I-
can't hear you, but you can hear us.
That's the one thing I wish StreamYard would do was have the audio value if we pulled you out. So it's not quite a green room, but just off the active images.
So
Stage
then
room.
so then what we'll need to do, George, is have a logo that is white with a transparent background
A
Mhm.
PNG.
sitting
Mhm.
there, as opposed to the background that I have, which I'll turn off.
So you can make that in. I have that. You can see the gray Workbench logo, I presume.
Yes.
Okay, I'll make that go away. Yeah. So this is just a logo. So yeah,
So a
if you make
logo
that,
is
we can just upload
what
it as
we
a logo.
want.
Yeah.
A logo
This
is
is
what we
also
want, not a
very cool
background.
too. I don't know if you noticed below logo in the brand thingy, you can also add these overlays. So you can have a whole bunch of. So logo is apparently one category of thing, and then
Right.
overlays is a different category of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Mark, we
overlays can be
muted you
Now what
because there
happens
was
when we
heavy
go to
breathing
2x2?
sounds
Let me mute.
here.
The
Oh.
heavy breathing was
Okay.
intentional because Marty told me that they could hear me, but I moved my mic a little farther away.
Nice.
That is, I can spend a whole weekend just futzing with this.
I was playing with
why
this
does
for
it have
about
to
an
be
hour
this?
last night.
There's probably a help file too somewhere.
Yeah, there is.
Actually,
It's
just
all those little question marks.
but the UI is pretty intuitive. If you just sort of, you
Futz
know,
with it.
just press the buttons and see what happens.
I like my mute button. Stream Deck. Mute.
Yeah, I gotta Stream Deck this. Very cool. You can
Just
also
to be
play
in-
a video. Well, that's curious.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I wonder if I could play Smart SDR. I probably could.
You probably could. So this is what it looks like for our viewers behind the scene. We're talking about these tabs. We can take a oh yeah, I got to click over here. I can't click on the video. So we
I
can,
did that.
yeah, right. So this is how we promote a comment. This is where we put up banners. You can create a banner that's a ticker. You saw that a bit earlier. The oval name tags look better. Yeah, I would agree. The brand is what we're playing around with, right? You can change the background. You can see the subtle leaves there, or not have one at all,
It's
in
a
which
lot
case
better
it
than-
defaults to black.
I mean, we could use OBS except for the week it would take to set up for every show.
Well,
And the overhead.
exactly.
Or OS broadcast. Yeah.
Getting it set up one time wouldn't be hard. Well, I mean, would take some effort, but the biggest issue is that we still haven't found a way to get individual video streams from each of you guys into OBS in a consistent manner. The only way I figured out how to do it in OBS is to set up a Skype or a Zoom or whatever, and then y'all's faces come up in some order,
Yeah.
and then I go into OBS and I crop out that one little thing and bring it up into your spot. And if that order changes, then we're screwed. I wish there was a way to be more consistent about that, but I haven't found it.
So we can invite somebody to come on as a guest video. Do you want to try that out?
Yeah, grab
good
Train
idea.
Man.
Sure.
Hey, Austin, you still on? Or anyone really? Train Man's just the person that I know.
Apparently, hitting the back button on my mouse was a bad idea.
Or Randy.
Randy works too, if you all know him.
Let's see. How might we?
I
do
think you
that?
have to email him though, don't you?
You do.
Oh, I'm looking at going, where's my invite button? But I'm not the host, so whose mic was that?
Yeah, John. There's a way to do banners.
There is, yeah.
Uh,
That's
We're
called
just
the
playing
overlay.
with those. Yeah. So,
Who do we have to invite, Mike? Mark?
Austin?
Do you need an
Example.
email address?
these are overlays.
I will message you a DM, or I will Slack you an email address. Hold on for a second.
Correct, Amundo.
Austin.
24 people don't have something better to do tonight.
Or 24 people have gone downstairs to make a sandwich.
Just like in Last Man Standing.
Check in Slack.
Yes.
Train Man, you should see an email coming soon.
I hear packet racket.
No,
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
I agree though. I don't know what we ended up paying for, or I didn't pay anything. You ended up paying for it, but
Ooh.
ease of use and portability, it hits it out of the park.
Lack of noise
Um,
cancellation will be a consideration for us because we are. So you heard my radio going, which you would never normally hear when we're in Skype because of basic noise cancellation. That doesn't exist here now.
Which is great for me. I could
Was there a
turn on my
question about
green
the
screen.
cost of this thing? Is that what you're talking about, Vince?
No, I just think
Uh,
for the subscription
Mike
price, which
Oh.
which wasn't horrifically expensive, and
Mm-hmm.
ease of use and portability is a no-brainer, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
Any one of us could pick it up at 2 minutes to go if we had to do a
There
live
we
show.
go.
And expensive. And ease of
I know that guy.
portability
Good morning.
is
Hey,
Hey,
Austin.
someone invited a cat. Oh, it's amazing.
any one of us could pick it up at
You got
2
a
minutes
bonus
to go
guest.
if we had to do a live
There we
show.
go.
You're gonna mute. You have to mute your YouTube.
I know that guy.
Good morning.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Austin.
Hello.
Good
Nice to meet
evening.
you.
Everyone,
You guys
this
all
is
hear me?
Austin. He's a friend of mine. We used to work together, 12, 13, 14 years ago. How long ago were you down here?
It's been about a decade.
It's been more than a decade. But anyway, so if you've heard me tell the story about the two guys that used to work for me that bought me a cane and a strip of AstroTurf to put at my desk because I was the old guy so that I could shake my cane at them and tell them to get off my lawn.
God, my lawn.
That's Austin. Down that side.
Well done.
Austin and another guy named Mark.
I don't think I'm ever going to live that one down.
You are not. No. And I love pointing out the fact that he is now the age that I was then when he was working for me.
So,
do
does
you
he have
your
a
own piece
cane?
of AstroTurf?
No, it hasn't shown up yet.
No, I got to make that happen. I need to get off my ass
Amazon.
and do that. Yeah.
So who's your friend?
This is Nina. She is a rescue.
Best kind of cat.
Yep. She is big and fluffy, and I figured, you guys get two guests for one.
That's right. There we go.
So are you not in SLO?
No, I am in Seattle.
Ah, okay. Let's
Coming
see.
He
to
lived
you.
in.
Go ahead.
Coming to you from my office floor while I wrap Christmas presents.
Oh wow, we got a shot for Christmas.
Somebody who's doing Christmas ahead of December.
That's a month in advance. There's got to be some fundamental law that's been broken here.
Oh yeah.
The opportunity presented itself.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's
And
called
so you were
Amazon.
asking about people having nothing better to do than to watch us tonight. Now we've got
No,
a,
see,
a
actually,
hint as
it's
to
not
what
they
it is
don't
that
have
we're doing.
something better. They're just looking for an excuse not to do the crap that they're doing. That they would
There
rather
you go.
do anything but what they're doing, and we are the anything. We are the dummy load of video.
Oh, I'm happy to be better than nothing,
So I'm
but
assuming.
asymptotically approaching nothing, to quote George.
Yes.
So I'm assuming we're going to post this on the Facebook page. That we're even doing
The
this?
usual subjects.
Yeah, I put a posting on the
probably.
Facebook page.
Okay. And it's just basically go into your YouTube channel and watch for it about this time. Yeah. Okay.
You mean for Friday or this one here?
Friday.
Oh
Friday.
yeah, I will post
It-
it. For,
It pops up like literally immediately on the iPhone app.
If you subscribe, is that because you're subscribed to
subscribed.
the
And have the bell on.
Oh.
I don't know about the bell, but it does pop up.
Okay, really quickly, while we've still got Austin, I wanted to ask what your experience was. So, Vince, you clicked a thing to invite a guest,
Can't
and
hear
that
you.
required.
My phone rang.
We've
Be
never
right
had
back.
that happen during his show.
This is why we don't do video live.
Yeah.
Is
But okay, so Austin, what was your experience? You got a link in email. Is that what happened?
I got a link in email from Vince. It says link to StreamYard.
We're so
Um,
sophisticated.
Clicked
Okay.
it, plugged my name in, hit join.
And
Had
that
to
was it.
authorize Chrome to use my mic and camera, and I'm off to the races. And this
Did
is
you enter your credit card number? just
was
check
I
it.
not supposed to?
That'd be good. As a premium
Well,
member.
we already got it. I just didn't know if you had to enter it. It's a kind of an autocomplete thing. Never mind. Go ahead.
And,
It's
and I'm
pretty
coming
painless.
to you from the built-in camera and built-in mic on my MacBook Pro.
There you go.
So If I
So
click
Vince-
data, that's why.
Vince, what was the experience on your side? You said, I want to bring that person in as a guest. Did you just create an invite link and then you mailed it, or did StreamYard handle that for you, or nothing?
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Again with the physical switch.
No, I muted it because I took a phone call and it
Yeah.
took over my headset, so I couldn't hear Jack Diddley. So let me share this Brave tab, StreamYard, and I'll show you exactly what I did. And so I went to invite, and I copied that to the clipboard.
Now
And
there's
everyone's
also an
gonna
email.
join.
Well, everybody can join, but we don't have to let them in.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Anyway, there we are. So that's all I did.
What's the max we can add?
We can have 10
Thank you,
sources
Kyle.
come in.
He says our radio faces aren't as bad as he thought they would be.
Yeah,
Our
but that's
faces
because
are
we have the
shaped
morphing
today.
software turned on.
That's right.
Yeah, the skinny
Amazing what you can do
software,
these days.
the
Except
Instagram
this-
filters.
All my friends were in our TV program at college, so they were all the ones that had a face for radio.
Yeah, wasn't that the way?
So do you know how many
10.
people?
10.
10? Oh, thank you.
We can have 10 guests come in. So when I come in on my second, that counts as a guest seat. But
Okay,
when
so
I'm doing a
it's the
screen
host plus
share,
10.
it shows as a source here, but it's not part of the 10 count. So we could have, I would say we'd have 8 people, and we could still do like screen share.
Okay. Well, that's good. So that's plenty.
Yeah.
And then we have private chat, by the way. You didn't have to use Skype or
Oh, good
Slack.
point. Yeah, that's true. A face for currency. That's a little braggadocio there, Marty. Anyway. All right. Is there anything else we want to test out and figure out how to do
No, we're going to
tonight?
bring in, one more thing I want to do. Hey, Kyle, we're going to bring you in. Let me just find your email address.
Okay. And that's true because they're
Which,
watching on YouTube. And so there is no connection there's no reverse connection between StreamYard and YouTube. So there's not a way to just click on a user and bring them in. We have to do it through the invite link.
Yes.
Okay.
So since Kyle's going to be on a show eventually, so Control V, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
Did you know that Windows has a built-in clipboard stacker with Window V?
I heard
Click
that.
Window V.
I'd be a Mac
Yeah.
user.
I
though, so
tripped
wouldn't-
over it one day about 6 months ago and I went, where have you been all my life, rather than having a buffer one deep?
It's like the day I realized if you hit Control right arrow, your screen rotates. That was
I've done that.
the
That's up
first
there
time I
with-
did that, I thought,
I
What the
used
hell,
that
why
to
I
my
do
full
that?
advantage. So I had 4 remote staff, and the rule was if you got up from your desk, you didn't leave your screen share
did-
going to a customer site. And so the first time Joel did it to me, I just changed his background to my pink pony. The second time he did it to me, I rotated his right screen 90 degrees to the right, and I changed his mouse to left-handed. The third
Yeah, we
time
used to
he
do
did
that.
it to me, I changed his background to something equally not male appropriate. I will admit to doing that. And one screen rotated 90 degrees right, one screen inverted 180 degrees, and his mouse was changed to left-handed. And the last thing I did was I changed his keyboard layout to Cyrillic before I hit Windows L. And so now he couldn't log back in. He walked into my office 20 minutes later, having brought up the on-screen keyboard, and he said, okay, Vince, you have made your point. So Kyle, your invite has been sent.
So the way we did it at my former employer is that we would start out, especially if the person was new to the team, we would just send an email to the team that says, I like ponies, or I like unicorns, or something like that. But if it's like your second or third offense, at some point it's donuts are on me on Friday.
Yep.
Our favorite was if you left it unlocked and walked away is, forgot whatever, in the Windows startup, we'd create a shell and have it log out.
One of my
So you'd have
favorites
to
is
figure
to
how
do,
to break it right before it would execute.
So another dastardly way of doing this is to take a screen capture of their desktop, and then
Make it-
set their lock screen to that.
Yep.
See, Mark's defense to this was that he has the Kinesis keyboard and a trackball that's already set to left-handed. So good luck trying to use his desk.
Yeah, no,
I
yeah,
was-
it's got built-in
I
protection.
was, speaking of which, mucking with a WinKey or using remote CW keying, which you can do, George. Now I know how to do it. And I inadvertently hit the WinKey or command to invert the paddles. So then I had to take key and turn it around. So the paddles were facing away, so I could send the right command to get it.
It's more
back.
aerodynamic that way.
Yeah,
Give a
I had
headwind.
someone else tell me about it.
So is Kyle joining us, or is he just
I sent
have
the
better
email.
things to do?
I sent the email to that email address.
And let me check my email, Randy. It probably is correct. Yep, I got it. I'll let you know tomorrow.
I use Notepad++ for text files. One of my absolute favorite programs of all time. Sorry, Mark, this is a Windows program. Is
TextPad?
No, EditPad Lite or the for free,
Boy, we're getting low.
or the one you pay for. We're scraping bottom here, buddy.
We are.
What's your favorite text editor?
You're talking Vim?
Oh, Emacs.
Well, I use VI.
No, not Emacs. VI.
VI.
Yeah.
Turbo Pascal from Borland. It was WordStar compliant. It was super fast, and it was about 50K, and it loaded from anything.
True.
2 employers ago, we used to access control on any antenna card found.
Nice.
Notepad+ for the win.
All right.
well.
So I
So I
kind of
think-
want to get moving.
Yeah, I think we.
I need to get moving because
So
the
next
new
episode, we're
ham
gonna
is
talk
going to
about-
join me in 10 minutes.
We're going to talk about all the Borland compilers on Friday's meeting.
The boring
and
compilers.
Yeah, what happened to Delphi? And
God.
this is,
Okay,
this is
I can
blast from the
outdo
past.
all of you because
Oh, no.
none of you
Do you have a box
None
set?
of you own a shrink wrap box of.
Oh my God! No,
OS
kidding.
poo.
What?
OS2 Warp.
Warp?
That was version.
Oh, the Johnny Come Lately version of OS2? OS2
did you-
So
Warp?
this
yourself
is
back and
which
not
was
open it up.
developed by what company?
IBM.
The internals are developed. No,
Oh.
Microsoft.
Yep.
Oh,
They
that's right. I
Swapped
do remember that.
kernels.
That's right.
I ran
Jeez.
that on a 486 SX
It's
compact
awesome.
laptop.
Yeah.
Isn't that just DOS?
Oh no! It was multitasking.
Was it really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I never used it.
yeah.
No,
I mean-
OS2 was really good. It never got market share, obviously, but it was
Yeah.
really good.
My claim to fame is I once
Huh.
published a
Oh.
forecast of operating system shares, and at the time OS2 was huge in the banking system up here in Canada.
Oh.
Yep.
You know why?
So
Because it was the only thing that would do 3270 screen emulation with the
Right.
DFT card.
Mm.
right,
And then you could have all these virtual monitors, and we were like, I remember getting it at work when because I worked at IBM at the time, and people were like, you can have 2
How are you
monitors,
doing
you
that?
could toggle back and forth. It was should have seen the writing on the wall, right? So
Probably a lot cheaper than buying a 3270. I used a 3270 writing Fortran, working for an oil company. That was really fun.
Wow,
Yeah.
a save icon.
yeah, in 3D. Nice.
Maybe they're coasters, Mark. Maybe they took the icon and made a coaster out of it.
All the
So
ones
is
that
that our
came in my
Friday
mail that said
challenge?
AOL were used as coasters.
Yeah, or Christmas tree ornaments.
Is
Almost
that our-
certainly,
So,
Marty.
in case you missed it, it said disc 1, right?
Disc
Yeah.
1, yep.
Well,
So
there's
all
more
right.
speed in here.
Our
Crack the
Friday
steel on that
challenge
thing,
is
Mark.
bring
You
the
can't sell it.
oldest piece
Not
of
only that,
tech
it came
you
with the
actually
bonus
used.
pack.
Wow.
That you actually use.
The oldest
Oh.
piece of PC or personal
Software.
computer tech that
Oh, I
you actually use.
have you all. I have you guys all beat. Not even close. My first computer had tubes, 64,000 of it,
Yeah, I
and
know.
it was our air defense.
You still
Yes,
got
but do
memory.
you still have it?
Let me show you the memory.
Oh, he's got the memory from it.
By the way,
I'm
my
gonna show you
father-in-law was chatting with
Here's
me about
2K
that.
2K by 1 bit.
That's pretty hardcore.
I like Austin's.
Ooh,
Does
very
the slide
nice.
rule count?
Oh, I know how to use one of those, Austin. That's good.
So does
That's
Austin.
why. I wouldn't own it if I didn't know how to use it.
We still use them in airplanes. They're called an E6B.
Oh, PDP-8. Now,
A
Is that a
PyDP
PyDP?
8.
oh, you got one of those Raspberry Pi emulator things?
Yeah. Nick Arjukas,
Oh.
Exploding Lemur, bought this for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw that. I was really curious about that thing. I saw it somewhere. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll try
I
to
don't know how to
find
use one,
Jeff.
but I'd love to.
Jeff, I'll try to find a Clippy for every time that we mention something to purchase just for you. I'll see what I can do.
Can you get Clippy? Oh God, there's this really funny thing. You know, Mystery Science Theater 3000, where they make fun of all the bad sci-fi movies, and there's one where there's the whole this is like a industrial film, and it was about springs. It was done by like the National Spring Council. I mean, like a metal spring, right? And so it's all about springs and how springs really make your life better. And so there's a little animated spring character, and these guys are in a car driving down the road, and the little spring character is talking, and they voice over in the voice of the spring character, and they're driving along by the side of the road. And anyway, it gets into this whole thing about like, oh, this would be a nice place to put a body. What do you think?
Ooh, an
goes
Apple
on, it's
Neutron.
Ooh, a
Nice
Newton.
place to put a body?
Yeah, because you have this like jovial little springy cartoon character, and they're anyway.
Oh, okay, got it. You're talking about the MST3K stuff.
Yeah.
So Rod, I've got a Newton joke for you.
Hmm.
How many newtons does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Big news.
None, because it can't render the word light bulb. Yeah.
Foe, there to eat gravy at not there to eat lemons, axe gravy soup.
Yes. My favorite, and I wish I kept the whole series of the clippings, was the Burke breathed God, what was the
Bloom
name of
County.
that comic?
Bloom County.
Where Opus was had his own Newton, and there was
Bloom
a
County.
whole God. It had to be like about 10 different comic strips.
They had a Newton on The Simpsons.
Oh, did they?
They had their little bit where I don't know, somebody's writing on the Newton, and of course they can never spell whatever they wrote.
Yeah.
And it still runs on double A's.
Does it still run at all? Does
Oh,
it
yeah.
run?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got
An Apple 3C.
Oh, this is like the old computer show.
ooh.
Is that a 2C?
2C.
2C.
And yes, last time I powered it up, it worked.
Nobody brought up a Palm Pilot yet?
Yeah, someone did in the chat.
Somebody did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, John.
Austin's cat got so scared at seeing your 2C that she turned gray.
No, this is Fred.
And a fax card for it.
Nice.
I have those.
Ooh.
14.4
High
or
tech, baby.
56K?
Oh, God knows what is probably 96. I think it's a 9600.
Okay, what I want to know, Rod, do you have the one with the bitchin connector where you push it and you can stick
The
an
X
RC?
Jack.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
X-Jack.
X-Jack.
That's technology
The X
for
Jack.
Yeah,
So
It's obvious
would
that
go-
you've never actually used it because that connector is still attached to the card.
Yeah, it usually pops out. I think it has popped out at least once,
Yeah,
so God knows
it
if
is
it
the
even
truth.
works.
you. Yeah.
See, when Mark posted, what did you show me? Tell me you're old or whatever in the internet, and I said V92.
What did you say?
V92.
Oh,
or
V92.
V9
Yeah.
V90 speeds. Yeah.
Well,
Ah,
it's,
yeah.
yeah,
Still no.
because the person who I was retweeting hit 56,000 followers, and so her Twitter said 56K, and she's like, "Oh yeah." Anyway,
Oh, and for those of you Canadians out there, you might remember the extinct card that you needed to export your technology into the United States with the serial numbers listed on it.
You mean like maple syrup?
Oh, yeah, very much like
the green
controlled
the green
substances.
card.
There we go.
The green.
Imagine
card.
being so we were
green
sailing
card, yes.
competitively with those. So we would go in with a sailboat full of parts. I had about 30 of those.
Yep. And you could only put 10 things on the back.
Jeez.
So, George, you're always amazed that people are interested in watching this kind of crap. Like, why
Yeah.
would anybody want to see our live stream when they can just watch or listen to the podcast later?
Yes, that is my question.
Yeah, this is why. I mean, we still have 20 people watching us right now.
Yeah.
What is
the
wrong with
sad
you people?
Commentary on society.
I got my
these are
YouTube
obviously
channel
fans
started.
of Seinfeld.
Yes, exactly. My YouTube channel started by me sitting down to work on a schematic and a board layout and click stream go and
Well,
just let anybody join who wanted to join.
in defense of that, you know, a lot of times I'll be working on a project in the garage and I'll be working on it for like 3 hours or whatever. And if you watch YouTube videos and they run 3 minutes, then you're like constantly looking for some, you know, another video to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
And it's great if you can trip along something you don't have to actually, you know,
Pay attention
listen to for an hour or two.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of get that, especially if it's vaguely about something you might actually care about. You might actually get one useful nugget out of it by the time the thing's over.
Hey, by the way,
And if nothing
there's
else, by the way,
the
sorry,
2
Rod.
hour
If nothing else,
mark,
put a
guys.
cat on the show and we'll get more hits. Go ahead, Rod.
Yeah,
That's right.
There you go.
Because it is the internet.
This was our test session, and we've crossed the
And
2
we're
hour
still
mark.
two hours.
Yeah, actually, we're at 2 hours and 7 minutes, so I think we should call it quits.
Nice.
Tomorrow night, you have 40 people
Thanksgiving.
watching.
Because they can't get out of their chairs. That's
Or
awesome.
they're trying to avoid their family members.
Yeah, both. Those are the two reasons.
Sorry, Uncle
comment.
Dave. I have to go watch my thing.
Oh, Randy's
Yeah.
nailed it though. Canadians coming back from Dayton. I made sure I followed some other ham over the border back because already the guy in front of me has bored the crap out of the customs agent. And by the time you show up looking like your porcupine, they said, "Where were you? Dayton? Buy anything? Junk. Have a nice day." And it was just a kid. And I'm not making this up. You did not want to be the first guy through on a Sunday
Because you're too interesting.
because you're too
It
interesting.
was when one of the Oakville
the last
Club
one
members
was
came back with a trailer full of what looks like aluminum recycling.
yeah.
It was all tubes and bits of tower and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
had
think
one
we
guy
should-
pulled up to him and he goes, "Let me guess, Dayton?" I went, "Yep, bye."
So I think we've run our course. We completed our 10-minute test. It only took us 2 hours, so that's
There you go.
par for the course.
That's about how it works with us.
Not how it goes.
Austin,
So,
nice to meet you.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you, Austin.
Nice to meet you too, Kat.
It was nice meeting your cats.
What does that look like? Oh,
Oh,
I don't
And
know.
I will make it. I promise, when I make it up to Seattle, you and Mark will be the first people that I contact about that plan. So
Hey, I'm going to be in Vegas in 10 days.
sorry to hear it.
Well,
NHL.
people are starting to drop off. They're getting the hint that we're about to end. So I'll
Well,
hit the great
We've
big
been
end
about to
button
end
now.
for the last hour.
So,
Yeah. All right,
ladies
this
and
is it.
gentlemen, from all of us at the Ham Radio Workbench, 73.
73.
Happy
Three.
Thanksgiving.
be good humans.
73.